Hey monster fans, in today's video we're looking inward to the beast that lies within, as we uncover the history and themes behind werewolves. A werewolf has its dating back to roughly the early 15th century, in which belief in werewolves developed alongside the belief in witches. In folklore, a werewolf is a human that has the ability to shapeshift into a wolf, usually looking like a wolf/human hybrid. This change is usually caused knowingly or because of a curse, often from being wounded by another werewolf. Much like witches, there were trials of supposed werewolves in Switzerland. By the time these trials of witches were done, werewolves became a huge part of fiction, which the fantasy and horror genres took in with open arms. In 1897, Bram Stoker's novel Dracula had its titular character shapeshift into a wolf, and that the only way to kill it was using a sacred bullet. So there's some groundwork here for future adaptations for the werewolf. The first ever known werewolf story put to film was in 1913's The Werewolf. Not much is known about this film as it is considered lost. However, the plot revolves around a Navajo woman who teaches her daughter witchcraft. She transforms into a wolf in order to carry out vengeance upon invading white settlers. The film starred Maria Wellcamp as Keone, the Navajo woman, and Phyllis Gordon as her daughter. Unfortunately for this film, all prints were lost in a fire on the Universal lot in 1924. The earliest surviving werewolf film is 1935's Werewolf of London, which stars Henry Hole as Wilfred Glendon, who is a wealthy and renowned English botanist who, while in Tibet, is bitten by a werewolf. On his return to London, he soon discovers that he too is becoming a werewolf. Jack Pierce, who designed many of the Universal monster makeups, also did the makeup for this film. However, it was much more tame than what was yet to come. In 1941, the world was introduced to the definitive werewolf portrayal in The Wolfman. Lon Chaney Jr., following his father's footsteps, became an actor and would go on to play Frankenstein's monster, the Mummy, and Dracula. But the role that defined him was the Wolfman. The film cemented the werewolf lore with a werewolf that turns with the full moon and is only defeated by silver objects. 40 years later, in 1981, werewolves hit another major turning point in cinema, this time with special effects. The Howling and American Werewolf in London made these beasts scary again. In American Werewolf in London, Rick Baker's special effects won him an Oscar for Best Makeup, which was the first win in that category. Because of these classic films, werewolves are now deeply rooted into the world consciousness. They have been imprinted into our minds by these classic films, and they speak to us at times of change in our own lives. For myself, I got into werewolves at a very young age. I think this kind of coincides with puberty, how it feels like we don't understand what's going on to our own bodies, and it feels like a curse has been put upon us. Werewolf films also reflect the atrocities of war, especially Jewish persecution during World War II, and how normal men, through the horror of war, are turned into killing beasts. We as humans all have another side to us. We harbor a beast within at times, and werewolves represent the struggle that we face day to day to be our most civilized selves and not let that animalistic urges within come out, but as these films show, sometimes the beast is set free. Thanks for tuning into another video. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe and also give this video a thumbs up. Let me know what your favorite werewolf film is in the comments below, and I'll be sure to leave some recommendations in the description. Catch you on the next one.